So I created this page because I wanted to do something outside of my brand, outside of Chronicles of a Virgo, just something to give more of like a journey of Shakita's self development and whole healing journey. To open up the dialogue around conversations around healing, just things that may have helped me, different experiences I've overcome, in hopes the messages reach the right people that it needs to reach. And something happened, and I want to talk about it. Now, one thing is, I always pride myself on being very open and honest and not trying to like really sugarcoat things. But like, even on my podcast, like, one thing that I really didn't get in depth about was like my relationships and dating, and just give like really, like explicit details. And I probably never will, because some things should remain private. Although I do believe, certain things can be shared in regards to just raising awareness and like using it as a vessel to help someone else. And that's kind of what I want to do today. So, like I said, something happened. I wanted to talk about it. And I normally don't really talk about like my relationships in the past and dating. And I probably won't ever get into depth, right, about things, because some stuff should be private. Although I feel like being open and honest about certain encounters, it is healing, and you never know who a message can reach that may help someone else. And something happened today, and it really bothered me, and I really felt bad on myself, and I felt like all my healing, all my work, all my growth was for no reason. Like, I was really thinking, like, how could you let this small, what may appear to be a small encounter, trigger you so bad, right? And I'm human. Like, I know I'm human. I have emotions as well. I allow things to be and let them flow. However, I was still affected. And I just find it really interesting that if you're a person that has cut ties with a narcissist, someone that's been extremely abusive, whether it was emotionally, physically, whatever it was, verbally, whatever it was, just any form of abuse, and you finally cut ties with that person, and you've gotten to the point of accepting the things that have happened enough to move on and heal. And then for whatever reason, when you're in a good space, the person feels the need to try to pop back up and be a part of your world. And just that fast, in an instant, you get all these flashbacks of things that were said, things that were done. Your heart is racing, and I'm speaking for me. Like, these are the things that happened to me in that moment, and I'm just like, what the fuck, right? And like I said, I felt like all my work that I've done with myself, positive coping skills, literally went out the window in that moment, because why do I feel this way? Like, of course, I'm allowing myself the space to feel how I feel, but it just caught me off guard. And then what it also showed me about that individual was, you still are disregarding my feelings. You still are disregarding my boundaries. And you still the jackass that you was when I left you where you are, because you have the audacity to pop up and think that things can just be how they were when we were on good terms at one point. And in no shape or form, this is not me speaking to disregard anything that I may have done during that engagement with that person, the time that we dealt with each other. However, again, abuse in any form, I feel like it's wrong, right? And I don't feel like I was an abusive person. And of course, there's always two, three sides to a story, whatever. I'm just speaking for my sake, right? I say all that to say that if you're a person that is on a healing journey, or you're just trying to navigate life and you're facing a situation of some similarity that I did, when something happens or someone pops up that may trigger you back to the emotion space that you felt during that time period, don't for 1 second feel like the work, the healing, and everything that you have done up to the point that you are now is gone out the window, because that's not the case. Do not feel like you're a failure, because for a second I was like, bitch, you a failure. Like, I, trust me, like I had a whole meltdown almost. You're not a failure. You're human. And we have to accept these human feelings and emotions that we go through. And then we put ourselves kind of, in a sense, like back together, right? And go back to the things that have gotten us to this point of these healing parts of us, and continue to pour positive things in us, continue to set these boundaries. You know, of course, you have the ultimate choice. If you want to allow someone back in your space that did you no good, that was extremely abusive, or you can continue to maintain those boundaries for your own sanity, for your own safety, for your mental health, you know, and just continue to push through without that person. And it's so unfortunate that people are so like above themselves that they feel like they can just go out here and mistreat people and then pop back up and act like it wasn't nothing, you know? And I'm a firm believer in forgiveness, self forgiveness, and forgiveness of other people. But I also am a firm believer that forgiveness does not mean reconciliation, you know? So yes, I'm human. We all go through trigger points. We all go through different type of emotions and things. However, just know that you are a good person. Just know that the things that was inflicted onto you was not your fault. And know that just because, you know, you may feel like you're in a triggering state at the time, try to focus on the positive things that make you happy, resort to your positive coping skills, whatever that may be for you. And of course, always have that person, someone in your corner that's going to support you. I'm thankful that I do. I'm thankful that I was able to reach out, you know, aside from doing things that help bring my nervous system back down. But the main thing is just your mental health, and just getting that back to the stable point that you're able to move forward, and know that that individual or that situation does not dictate where you go from here.